They will. It's going to be Pantheon coming through. Now, this again could be going a multitude of places. I don't think.
Yeah, this could be FAKER's Pantheon, or it could be Carrier's Pantheon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Carrier's.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think that even with you know, like the fasting Ashe here and Pantheon taking gold, like which could have been a thing. Like we could have talked about that. Like I don't like that idea. It's not a solo queue game. Like I think Pantheon is just going to be straight up defensive stun against Pyke trying to engage, and then all of the CC that Ashe has is so strong here. And they do need scaling mid damage, which Pantheon, of course, is not going to provide.
Everything else is just gold, and so much on Dudu's shoulders again. All right, that is a very cool Pantheon skin that Carrier has right now. As you can see, looking absolutely glorious. Charging up some Qs, throwing them around. And of course, one of the reasons why the Pantheon is picked up here is because it's just fantastic into the Pyke. Yeah. Plus the chain CC holding the Pyke in the Wizard Wand is absolutely fantastic.
It's so amazing because what you can do is, so for those who, you know, are wondering why this is a counter pick, like what Vista is going to try to do a lot is, of course, Bone Spear into his dash where he sets up the follow-up stun. Pyke can, if he's the one who's caught, can just put up his shield and not care about any of the damage, so he doesn't care about that. But also, if Guma is the target, he can then stun Vista in place, prevent him from retreating. Then Guma can, of course, then use his W to slow, and then hit those Qs, and then nobody can escape. The Pyke is doomed every time. So it's a really smart counter pick here from Carrier, and it really hurts the Pyke's power in this low-range lane.
Wow, the setup here from HANWHA is fantastic. Bone Skewer connects onto Owner there, as T1 still probably going to be able to secure this red buff and continue a bit of vertical jungling, but you can see OnFleek moving around. There's the flash forward from Vista. Wants to find the Bone Skewer, and he picks it up. There's the heroic charge, and Owner will go down. The red buff is now an afterthought as Carrier moving on over. Faker in here first as Karras is right behind him. OnFleek is extraordinarily low, and they'll be able to pick up that kill. Faker now just trying to keep the rest of his team alive, and he has level 2, so the surround sounds there, and Vista will fall. T1, a fantastic adaptation.
Oh, it was a great turn from them, and unfortunately for HANWHA Esports, they were just not very decisive in how they wanted to play the follow-up for this. As OnFleek smites the red buff and then lets it go, obviously, as they try to look for more. They get greedy. T1 did get some extra health because they want to push this, but Faker just gets up.
In the meantime, Dudu gets a solo kill on Zeus. All right. Okay.
Okay.
That's the thing that could happen.
That's the thing that usually does not happen.
Absolutely not. Gumayusi's going to throw down the heal. Vista looking for the stun, doesn't get it there onto Carrier. As you can see, Owner's moving his way forward. 3 versus 3 as T1 are trying to keep them interested. Owner is going to get heroically charged, but isn't actually punished and stunned into the wall. As we do just have all of the teams backing away. Gravitum doing some work here for Chunk. Ow.
So, yeah, that's another thing that is a problem for this low-range lane. Is Faker just keeps getting with his wave clear the ability to roam around at these early levels and make an impact so fast. And that was the biggest problem in that jungle. These hyper procs aggressively and just gets flashed on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just an uncharacteristic mistake here from the player who debuted Gnar. Just not respecting the flash. And I mean, Silas gets a ton of value in this initial trade, gets the spin twice. And there's a last one there. Got him, he says. Chani responds.
Yep. The Chani reaction might have been one of the rune swap issues, but I think it's largely based on the fact that the information wasn't given early enough, and so we couldn't actually remake the game.
Yeah, he just didn't tell the refs early enough, so they couldn't identify it.
Yep. Okay, Zeus going to be diving forward here. OnFleek is in there, but Owner is going to join him. Good heroic charge just to be defensive here as Dudu, taking a lot of damage, and the boulder toss is going to come through. Carrier gets the dive down, and it's a double kill for Zeus. He gets his revenge and then some.
A lot of money now in Zeus' pockets here on the top side of the map after a small misplay. It does go through, and of course Guma, if he could survive here, he does have to flash. If he survives down here,
didn't it?
Yeah.
The state of this game, Dudu getting a solo kill to start things off as the beat drop's going to come through for the slow. Karras avoids the stun, but Carrier is here. He just boosted on over. And not going to quite find it, but the flash does go down, and now the Azir is a sitting pigeon.
Yeah, it's rough. It's the second time Karas has been visited. The first time he didn't, of course, have to flash when Owner came through, but this time he will for safety. As Vista just not able to grab over the wall there. But look, level 6 on the horizon here for Keria means that he'll be able to make impacts like this around the map at a much greater distance with less sacrifice to his lane partner. So feeling pretty amazing about the game state right now, RT1.
Yeah, things are going from good to better. Speaking of better, Dudu does have the better ulti here towards the top side, has picked that one up now. But you can see on fleek, his mind is towards the dragon. And T1 knows exactly what's going on, but I don't think that they're going to be able to get any rotation over.
Well, Faker pinned down. They know they could push bottom side. HANWHA Esports do, but it's going to be a Drake for a Herald here. And it's like I said, the weak and strong side just completely flipped because now Zeus has so much power on the top side. And as long as Gumayusi and Keria know where on fleek is likely to be, they can just react accordingly and won't give Vista any engage opportunities where there is a pick possible, even with the flash advantage for a few more seconds. You can see Keria still has his on cooldown. But this is a more valuable trade for T1 in terms of getting Herald first because it's going to lead to a lot of extra plate gold, probably top side here.
Yeah, Owner can put it down basically in any of the lanes and find a lot of value, not just from the money, but also from being able to get a bit of priority in the lane and also possibly breaking down a turret. In the mid lane, absolutely fantastic, right? A longer lane for the Azir to have to stick around in is a little bit of a worry.
This roam timing here for
continuing to just shove these waves forward. Looks very Noggery-esque with how forward he's been as he misses the Gnar. Vista is over here, but they don't really want to take this fight. Arrow is going to fly forward, but isn't going to find the target. And if there was a turnaround, then that arrow could have been very valuable. As there is the Hex Flash over. Vista looking for it, but does get the flash out from Zeus, but that is going to be it.
Yep, they cannot chase any further knowing that Keria...
That wasn't even a Hex, that was just a straight up flash.
Yeah, just a straight up flash. Burn it down to be a dive. And now Faker is grabbing a plate here because Karas is so far away.
Oh, even more plates as well. As Faker will be able to get very, very close to picking up 3 from this Rift Herald alongside the one that he picked up earlier. Oh my goodness, yeah, that one is ready to drop. Got 3 minutes to try and lock that one down. So this Seraphine going to be very strong as well as Keria. Yeah, just puts up the shield. And Vista is not able to get too much value.
I love this.
Bone Skewer.
I love this pick of the Pantheon. I know we've talked about it a lot, but it just feels so smart. And it's just T1 big brain drafts. You know, sometimes we've criticized him for thinking outside the box.
Ooh, Arrow is going to get the dash out from Vista. He doesn't have his flash available, so he's quite lucky that that one didn't land. Gumayusi can just wait a little while, and then that one will be back up again.
Yeah, it's going to be up really quick. But yeah, I mean, T1, we've criticized them for thinking out of the box a little bit too much in the past, but it's been working out for them as Vista is playing with fire here.
Yeah, Keria moves on in.
Okay, Owner, unseen here, control ward set up.
Ooh, there's the flash for Flash in the mid lane from Faker as Owner not able to find the stun. And Karas able to get a lot of damage back there, as you can see. His Luden's already completed, so does a lot of damage here whenever the Viego is present.
Leak because they can just be collapsed on so quickly from so far away. Look at this.
Well, Arrow is going to connect there from downtown from Gumayusi. Beat Drop comes forward as well. They are buying their time as Keria has to flash to get out of the Emperor's Divide. Vista finds the stun though as Keria finds himself in a world of hurt. Tries to ult his way out. He'll get refunded a bit of that cooldown, but yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie and well played there by HANWHA.
Yeah, really nice attempt here from T1 with the arrow engaged there, follow-up route, but HANWHA Esports were 100% ready for it, turned it around very well. And unfortunately for Keria, he's not able to escape.
Yeah, a nice little stun there across the wall.
Immortal's
on Fleek's belief.
Immortal Shieldbow done here for Gumayusi, so he's got a lot more damage in his pocket and can, of course, survive a lot longer in trade. So this next Drake is definitely one that T1 want to force if HANWHA Esports are interested in contesting. Like, they 100% win this fight. They're faster grouped up on it. Keria got the refund of his ult.
Yep. Nara's going to be stolen here by Dudu, but doesn't have teleport to join this potential fight, and also this dragon doesn't last long enough. So they will be able to secure.
Live, we have a trade, so I'm getting scared to break this one down.
Yeah. So yeah, this is now Zeus in a bit of trouble trying to dodge the Bone Skewer, but he's not going to be able to do it. The ulti's going to miss, and Dudu almost dies, but still. It doesn't miss, it actually just doesn't do quite enough damage. But they're still able to get the kill onto Zeus. Definitely high value here as we even out the kills yet again on HANWHA's side.
Yep. Another kill going over to the Sylas here is going to become more and more valuable as the game goes on. Not in terms of what he does scaling-wise here, but how much he gets side lane if he starts to get the extra gold and in his 5v5 team fight setups. You know, we've seen him hijack and our ultimate in lane, yeah, that's nice and all, and it can actually win out for you if you have a nice gank setup from on fleek. But in a 5v5 team fight, that's where the power really is.
Well, Ona finds Vista, but Vista's pretty slippery as the Bone Skewer comes in. That's a fantastic steadfast presence, but they're not going to have enough damage with the two of these guys in order to lock down the kill onto the Viego. As, yeah, that's a whole lot more plate gold here for T1, which is why they have such a large advantage with even on Drakes and even on kills.
I think HANWHA should think twice about contesting this here. T1 have so many tools and they have a perfect setup here. The only one out of position is Faker, but can go over this wall. They have so much CC and the damage is real. Ashe, of course, with the Mortal Shield Bow, impossible to really pick here.
Yep, Ona moving on over. There's the teleport from Zeus. Can they burst down this Rift Herald is the question as he engages there onto Ona. He moves towards the Rift Herald, but he's not going to quite be able to find it on fleek. Flashing forward, some massive gnaw from Zeus, though it's Johnny. He's got red and white guns. He's so massive. Double kill to come through now, you'd assume, as Johnny's going to tidy it up.
That was a really nice turn from HANWHA Esports, and Dudu with the big ultimate, he steals it away from Faker, waits for the opportunity, they isolate one target, and when the rest of T1 collapse in, boom, three-man charm coming through from the Sylas, and that's when the follow-up comes through, as Sylas is on a win streak right now.
Let's just remind everyone at this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm like, interesting timing on this one, but, you know, that's as much as it takes when you have the follow-up. Like, oh, it is going to be the biggest value ultimate of all time.
And now HANWHA Esports have a gold lead. Remember, this is HANWHA's game 2. We were talking about this as Karis is going to find Emperor's Divide there on Zeus, who wallops nothing. But he'll be absolutely fine, just chilling underneath his turret. HANWHA continuing to put on the pressure here as they K-ram the mid lane. Nona off to the side. Gumushi has arrow left available. And still, the health advantage here on the bottom side lies with Zeus, but doesn't have flash. And is now hopping forward, looking for Karis here as the mini-Gnar sets up. Does know how to obliterate a minion wave, and does it instantly. The empowered Q.
Zeus is just left over here in the side lane for free because of this heavy commitment for HANWHA Life, and the wave clear is so amazing that resources are essentially wasted here. And by the time they get over to deal with him, you know, the rest of the team could be trying to collapse in. They don't have a lot of vision on the top side here. Owner is nearby bodyguarding for him.
Ooh, the Ibscon not quite going to connect there onto Zeus.
At least they get the Drake. Atlas on this one. They will be able to take the second Drake of the game.
Yep.
HANWHA Esports here hanging by a thread in terms of their gold. Like they were ahead by a tiny bit. Now it's slightly behind. It's a very even game.
Whoa, that was a beautiful Captain Jack there from Johnny, but still has to use his cleanse. Stun connects from Owner as well, but thanks to the extra tenacity from the cleanse, he doesn't get stunned for too long at all. And Johnny's just going to move back underneath this turret. Vista is in the mist as that is a pretty decent Moonlight Vigil. Gets a phenomenal stun as the Encore is going to come through as well. But Dudu's still just so big. Carrier on the front line will be able to take down the Aphelios as Zeus just trying to play defense. But he's thrown back into the team. It's a big wallop, but it ain't going to be enough. Death from below comes through from Vista. And HANWHA will now push and take down this turret.
Got 2 kills for 1 here. So much extra damage. Looking for more.
Yeah, they're looking for Faker here who flashes out of the way of the Bone Skewer. And HANWHA will back away.
That's a turret, though, going into their pockets. So much extra gold as well. The Aphelios goes down, but is now 2-1-3 this game, so picking up a lot of extra money. And HANWHA Life just played this fight so brilliantly, and they were so set up with the hijack available there to look for follow-up to the Aphelios ult. See, all right, I got this. Faker presses his shield button right as it comes through, so a lot of damage is mitigated, but it's the follow-up from the Sylas that is the big problem here. T1 caught in an awkward spot, really struggling to peel and turn things around. Zeus tried as he might, just not able to save them there. And it's the Sylas Gnar ultimate, that's the scary one.
As T1, yeah, as per usual, it's after 20 minutes, so they're starting Baron. It's how it goes, guys. It's how this one goes.
They planned it, they were grouped up for it.
Yep.
And they get seen, of course, by that ward, so they will have to back away.
Yep. So they're not going to commit, but always testing the waters. Got to see whether the Baron is going to be an option.
Well, T1 usually, when there's a reset, a lot of teams just default to going back to their lanes and going back to farm mode. Like, okay, we got 2.5 to Ocean. Let's keep that in mind. Whereas T1, when they back together, they often make a call instantly to rush for Baron and are able to get their Fav and Ezreal to chip away in the neutral. They have to hard engage with this Seraphine. Can't be used only for turn defensively. They have to find an angle. They have to find an opportunity here with this ultimate from FAKER. And it's you know, like if HANWHA just walk away, there's nothing they can do about it. Because it's not an Ezreal game like last game where they could just chip away at HANWHA and force them to make the first move, then use the Seraphine ult defensively. T1 have to be the ones to hard engage.
Well, let's see whether they can actually do so as the Dragon has been started up. Dudu is relatively low as the arrow is going to connect. And now the Encore comes in but finds no targets. And T1 thinking about backing away. They don't want to give away another one of these, but the Moonlight Vigil is going to go wide. It might spell go time for T1 as they do boop away one of the members. Owner is out of there as Carrier immediately ults forward, but will be taken down, and that is the Encore we wanted to see. The Emperor's Divide will rip through T1, and HANWHA have decisively taken this team fight. It's a double kill for the Silas. Owner, it's just a matter of time before he goes down as well, and that will be the ace for HANWHA Life.
Very likely let's go into a game 3 here. Atlas T1 now so significantly far behind in gold. The Baron is going to go over to HANWHA Life Esports. All that standing gold and turrets here on the map is going to go to them. And it just goes to show, like, you have one engage opportunity as FAKER here. If you whiff it, or if HANWHA just splits against it and prepares against it, knowing how binary this comp is without the poke damage of an Ezreal, then you're going to struggle. And HANWHA handled that so well, and then for some reason, Carrier thought he was going to collapse onto the 80 carry and follow through because Zeus had an R-bar, but the hijacked Seraphine ult was what guarantees the team fight win. As T1 are going to come over here and try to contest.
Yeah, FAKER teleported in. Owner is now respawned. Zeus.
Encore's just coming up.
Yeah, Arrow is going to connect as well as somehow it's Carrier that picks up the Baron. What the hell was that? The long-range Encore as well to also punish the Poppy. Oh, you should not be able to get away with that one, T1.
No, they definitely should not be able to get away with that one, but they are. And the game will continue, Atlas.
Making sure they can get to any entryway that they can find. Zeus' Narbar in pretty perfect position for the beginning of this fight. And you can see that ward behind the pit is just fantastic.
Stopwatch early, they're trying to buy time. HANWHA are. I like this from T1 that allows them to leapfrog forward.
Zeus' stopwatch was very interesting, maybe expecting an engagement that didn't come through as Karis is going to get stunned up. Moonlight Vigil will connect as Dudu's going to get engaged on. If he dies, this fight could just be over, but he's surviving. He's able to get the chains down as well as he flashes out Heartbreaker to get him back in the fight one more time. Kingslayer as well, but Zeus is going to be able to shut him down. Still, the fight is getting won by HANWHA Life, and Johnny's untouched if Dudu's holding all that aggro.
That's going to be the Soul Point. Now into Soul here for HANWHA Life Esports. They had Soul Point before this, and 4,000 damage goes over the Aphelios, but I'm just watching the Silas once again shape a team fight as FAKER will find Karis here.
Yeah, well, Karis will find FAKER as the Emperor's Divide will push him towards the inner turret. And FAKER is, yeah, he's real dead, guys.
Yeah, bad news.
Yeah. They're just going to delay his back just a little bit there as he does move towards the turret. And yeah, it will be Karis that picks up the kill in the end.
So Ocean Soul now into this comp. Not the most amazing soul to have, but still had to try to buy a few more seconds for T1 to then come closer, because if everyone collapses on top of him while he's in watch, then obviously he can gnar out of it. But
yeah, he's got his GA completed now. He also whiffed the ultimate as well. It was definitely an unfortunate fight for Zeus that last time around. Uncharacteristic here for how he's been performing so far this season as HANWHA are bearing down on the T1 base. Fortunately for T1, they haven't lost any inhibitor turrets yet. Still a couple of inners left on the map as well, but HANWHA have all of the control of this Baron. Zeus is sweeping forward, and the Baron has already been started. Zeus will get towards this pit, but it is going down so fast, it's just dead. They are going to be able to secure it now. Carrier is extraordinarily low, and the Encore will come out. The returning Encore not going to connect there as Vista looks for the Bone Skewer, but doesn't quite find it as T1 keep everyone alive, but they lose the Baron.
They need to back out of here ASAP. T1 do if they want to have any chance of defending and winning this game. 3 minutes of Baron buff now bearing down on their mid and top lanes. And they have decent wave clear, obviously, with this composition. We've talked about it a lot. Like Gamusi is going to prep this mid wave so they can focus more on the hard push top. Seraphine going to be so valuable in these moments, but she went for a Luden's build. Not going to be as amazing as it could have been with a lot of other builds, but Sundisk is up. Flank opportunities here, very small for T1.
Yeah, Zeus looking for Dudu here. See whether that 1v1 is going to be possible as Carrier with the Grand Skyfall picks the wrong exit. And Dudu is going to be able to slink away. This tower is just so extraordinarily dead.
And now they
as
can
Johnny
put
does
mid.
so much damage.
And with that ult from Keria, you know, like there's no angle here for T1. Now they're just going to lose both. Zeus has the Narvar almost ready here. He's looking for Chunny.
Yeah, can they find the Aphelios is the question, but Zeus not quite able to get him. And he uses his cleanse, but is able to hold on to the flash here in this moment as well, so they can continue pushing forward. The inner turret is getting beaten down by minions as well in the meantime as HANWHA take their second inhibitor. And this is just like the classic Life Esports Game 2 experience, everyone.
The Game 2 HANWHA Life is the scariest. And with the lead they had, they just didn't make any mistakes. They played around Duda, they played around topside so well. In each and every team fight, T1 were fishing with their ultimates. And when you have to play around Narvar, you have to play around your Seraphine ult with no vision, you just have such a struggle.
Well, Dumushi going to have his ult stolen as the arrow is just going to fly towards the enemy nexus. Yes, that's exactly where you want to go, as I think he was using that as an arrow for the rest of his teammates. As in goes Karis, but flashes out immediately. He's like, nope, I don't want this one. He's going to go golden. Moonlight Vigil will connect. A lot of damage there as now you can see Zeus looking for it, but he's not going to find it. And now Ona's turned into an Azir. It's a big ult from OnFleek for the disengage, but T1 have bought yet more time. And
it looks very different, doesn't it, when HANWHA Life Esports are running at T1's comp and T1 have the ability to shape it their way, as Karis just does not pull the trigger.
That shouldn't really have been an opportunity there for T1.
T1 are not going to be able to look for good ults because of the inhibitors. They can time them out, but the Elder will be taken. I thought it was a lot closer, but it's really not. Still 2 minutes to go once that one spawns.
Yeah, 45 seconds, but with the Baron buff down, there are opportunities. And Zeus has his Unleashed teleport available, and he's pushed all the way to this inner turret.
Doesn't have any flank wards really at the moment, though. It's just going to be pushing here. It has, of course, those wards he can teleport to in mid, but there's no wards around the Elder Pit. No setup vision for him to, go to, so he's just going to go ahead and back.
Yep, teleport to the mid lane here for Zeus. As T1 know, they can't give up on this Elder. As HANWHA Life Esports, they're like, what if we just don't do it? What if we just destroy your Nexus instead?
They're going to have to be decisive here, HANWHA. There's no canceling this one. You have to go all in on this, push this inhibitor down, and look for the ensuing fight.
Well, Vista's going to get spotted. Stun not going to connect. The inhibitor will go down. And
Red
now, yeah, look at this. Red and White Gun's just tearing this turret apart as Keria desperately trying to make this work. Faker gets a massive encore, but they're just focusing the Nexus. They just want to take it down, and they will. HANWHA Life take game 2.
HANWHA Life crashing back into this series with a